Good morning. Hello, everybody, and
Hello.
welcome to Umbraco Community Day, round two,
Yes.
2023. We actually did a first one in 2023 as well, but it's lovely to have you with us. Please, in the chat, let us know where you're joining from, because it would be great to see people from all over the world joining us today. Poornima, hey,
Yes.
how are you doing?
I am good, and I am excited to be hosting the second edition of Umbraco Community Day. We are back on popular demand. Shall we say that?
I think we can, yeah. I'm equally very excited about today. I have flown over 11,000 miles just to be here with you and
Yes.
with our friendly people in the studio. So I'm really hoping for a good day. If you see me flagging at any point today in the chat, let me know. I'll I don't know, go have a coffee and I'll be right back with you.
Yeah, I flew with a very heavy jet lagged Callum yesterday.
I'm
To the point, I
It's
was
fine.
almost about to WhatsApp him and say, Callum, where are you?
It's fine. I had a very good night's sleep, and we're back on top form today. It's gonna be a great day. So let's talk about last year first,
Yes.
because
Not last year, the first edition.
the first edition this year, in January of this year, we did the first ever virtual Umbraco Community Day, which had, I think, over 550 unique viewers from all over the world. We had different countries from Australia to India to the US and large parts of Europe as well joining us. So what was your highlights of that? And then let's maybe talk about this year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Two highlights, actually, because we did that in January once everyone was coming out of the Christmas break and the New Year's too much chocolate. So it was just like the wake up call that I needed, a good start to the year. Secondly, we had a lot of fresh faces in the first edition of Umbraco Community Day. So that was a big highlight because that's what community is all about. That's what this platform is all about as well, bringing in fresh faces from around the world as speakers and introducing them to the wider community. And of course, we get to see what happens all around the world.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, today we've equally got loads of fresh faces. We've got some exciting people coming from all over the world. We'll have a look at the schedule just in a minute. But
Yes, sure.
I guess if we want to hit those same levels we hit last year, it's a little bit of a challenge because unlike at the start of 2023, social media has sort of divided, and at least the Umbraco community has.
Absolutely.
So regardless of where you are and where you like to post nowadays, if that's Mastodon, Twitter, Threads, if you have access to Threads, or if people are still using Threads, I'm not sure. Blue Sky, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Make sure you're posting and sharing a link to today's session. You can go to day.umbraco.community or link to the YouTube page. They're the same video, same stream. Tweet it, post it, whatever, with the hashtag Umbraco Community Day. We'd love to see where you're joining from. My understanding is that people at home are also wearing their Umbraco t-shirts.
Absolutely.
Where's yours, Poornima?
Well, just consider this an Umbraco dress.
Fine. Yes, petition for some Umbraco dresses here. I'm unfortunately not wearing an Umbraco t-shirt either. Sorry, but I know Owen sounded the klaxon, and we are we have the community out in force in our Umbraco tees. So make sure you tweet that as well. Tweet, post, whatever it is nowadays. Your Umbraco tee picture, the Umbraco Community Day hashtag,
Yes.
a link to the feed, share it with your colleagues, share it with your friends. Let's smash all the records from
Absolutely.
round one.
This day just wouldn't happen without a wonderful audience and community. So let's make this day happen and let's make this day count.
Absolutely. Should we have a little look at what's coming up?
Yes, absolutely.
It's going to be a very packed day. So yeah, I'm really excited about the schedule. When we were putting it together, we were kind of trying to find a really good mix of what's new and fresh and happening in the Umbraco community, and also some of the more interesting, wider topics that perhaps we could be hearing from. So coming up, we have Nathan Wolf, who's going to be kicking us off with a look at his first findings with Bellissima, the new Umbraco back office project, which is going to be particularly interesting. I think he's caveated this, I guess, with saying he's not the expert. He doesn't want to necessarily be the expert, but he is possibly the first person from Umbraco putting their head above the parapet and saying, "Look, I've actually built something real with this, which is workflow," and he's been working on that for a while.
He's a great person. He's a great developer. So I'm excited to see what Nathan is up to with Bellissima. And of course, we are having him for the first time at Community Day.
Indeed, yes.
And we are starting from Australia.
Indeed, yeah. We'll be seeing him in a short moment. We'll be continuing with the Australian theme, sticking with other speakers like Emmanuel, and then also progressing on to a couple of our Indian speakers, which I'm really excited about. Some AI topics, some .NET topics. We've got Nikhil, who's returning to the Umbraco Community Day. Did a
Absolutely.
talk last year on Algolia search
Algolia,
and how
yeah.
you'd integrate that with Umbraco. Today, he's looking at how you maybe integrate AI tools like ChatGPT into your Umbraco workflow for marketing automation, that sort of thing. It's going to be
Yeah. 2023, you cannot have a conference without AI.
no way, really,
Absolutely.
really.
So
We've
we should listen to
if we
him.
scroll back up there a second, I was going to mention we've also got some really exciting panel
Yeah.
discussions happening throughout today. So the first one is kicking off at 10:15 CET in just over an hour with Paul Seal, Marcin Zakowski, and Eleftheria Batsu, they're going to be talking about building a personal brand, something I'm particularly passionate about as a topic. The three of these people have done wonderful jobs
Absolutely.
of building their personal
Absolutely.
brands too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be a particularly exciting one. We're breaking the day up with a few talks, then a bit more of discussion, a few more talks,
Talks.
a bit of fun. I think coming up around lunchtime, there is the Christmas quiz shenanigans. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Kim's kept things nice and
Secret,
quiet for
yeah.
us, but Kim is going to be joining us over lunchtime. So if you do have to duck out for any reason today, make sure you're back for this. I bet it's
Yeah,
going to be
absolutely.
great
Yeah, I
fun.
would have missed this.
Yeah, it's going to be interactive. People can get involved there too. So that's good. Accessibility topic, of course, from Mike. We've got Rachel joining us again. Oh, speaking of interactive, Jason's Async All the Things session. Jason has effectively asked people to help him DDoS his own laptop live on stream and live on stage.
Yeah, help me DDoS.
so this is another interactive session. He's going to explain in real practical terms how async actually works and get you involved. So if you want to do something a bit of fun, again, just straight after Kim, Jason's got this nice interactive session.
This I'm looking forward to because async and await is one of those things where people go massively wrong.
Oh, all the time. And we see, I see it in my own code, in fact.
Yeah.
Frequently we'll be debugging an issue and finding out, why has that happened? Oh, because I've not properly awaited something, or just not really understanding actually how the async pipeline is going to work too. So yeah, that is what it is.
And then we are moving on to Roy, who might be in the studio joining us.
Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of people today who will be joining us in person in the studio, so you might see some familiar faces with us. People who aren't just behind the scenes as well currently. We'll say hi to them when they show up. Roy's doing a talk about building a solid foundation for your .NET projects, which includes your Umbraco solutions as well.
Absolutely. And then one of the panels that I'm looking forward to with the meetup group with Phil, Kat, Dhanesh, and Anju.
I'm equally excited about this one. I'm a meetup organizer myself and a wider event organizer too. We've put together a very interesting group of people here who have quite different experiences of growing meetup groups all over the world, different places, and I really want to hear their different approaches.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's good to see two people from India joining for a meetup. I think that's the first time.
Yeah, it's not getting as much love as it should in the Umbraco community, but the Indian community is doing wonders with growing their meetup groups, trying some really different formats, and it's something we should be a bit envious of, I think. Of course, just quickly, we'll have Philip, we'll have Cornet. We'll be talking about some of the new developments that are going on there with new marketing suite and also with the Umbraco CMS, which Umbraco 13 launches tomorrow. So literally fresh, hot off the press.
Yes, absolutely.
Personal highlight for me, I've not seen it yet, but Sebastian's Raspberry Pi hosting Umbraco on a Raspberry Pi type session is something I've heard good things about. He's done it at a couple of meetups before. I'm yet to see it, so
I think it's going to be a fun session.
Terence also did a blog post recently about how he's been hosting Umbraco in some weird and wonderful ways. I'm
looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
Indeed. Another panel, Poornima. We've gathered some of the people who are in charge of getting our fantastic articles together for 24 Days on Umbraco, Scrift, those author groups. And they'll be joining a panel a little bit later as well.
Absolutely. And just before the panel, we have Richard Jackson joining us from UK again for his talk.
Yeah.
So if you remember, Callum, in the first edition, Richard Jackson was one of the people who had just submitted his first PR to the Umbraco community. And in the second edition, he's back as a speaker.
And if you read his 24 Days in Umbraco article from, I think it was actually the very first one, he gave the Umbraco community a bit of a shout out and said, it was my sort of induction into the community. where he won a ticket to the UK festival, which he attended for his first time. He's done a talk at the Umbraco London meetup this year, and I think Bristol and maybe Cardiff as well. He's kind of been all over, and has now written for 24 Days in Umbraco, and we'll be talking on the Community Day too. So it's a lovely
Absolutely.
full circle
Yeah.
moment for Richard there. If we could jump out of this session on the schedule,
Yeah.
the most important thing I think we can talk about today is we have a very, very special guest.
Yes.
Mr. Scott Hanselman will be joining us live, 6:30 CET, 5:30 UK time. I don't know what that is elsewhere.
Around the world.
But this is your chance to ask him any questions you want, absolutely anything you want. And that includes potentially live here on stream. So we have a QR code that I'm not sure if we can bring up, and if we can't, we'll put it up a little bit later and make sure the link for it is posted. Oh, there's the QR code. Fantastic. You can scan this QR code. It takes you to a form that you can fill in your questions for Scott. Now, you can choose whether you want to fill this in and actually ask it live, or you can fill it in and we'll ask it for you. There's an email address field. If you'd like the chance, put your email in there and we'll get in touch throughout today to potentially schedule a very short moment where you can come on stream and ask Scott a question directly. Very exciting. Limited supply as well. So if you want to do that, get your questions in quick
Now,
and make sure they're good and friendly.
You know, he's someone who understands communities like no other.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely an honor for us to have him here as a speaker and for us to personally host him as well.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, and get your questions in.
I agree.
Ask him.
I've got a couple of burning questions I'd like to ask him as well. So I think that session's going to be great.
Yeah.
And then finally, last session of the day, just to see us off right, we have the Candid Contributions team, the four. I was going to say trio, but it's not a trio, is it? What? I don't know. The four Candid Contributions team will be here, and they'll be finishing off the day with a little bit of a fun, some reminiscing about the past, and a look forward at 2024 as well. So yeah, that is a particularly packed lineup. In the chat, let us know what you think is going to be your favorite session, what you're most excited about. Can we bring the chat up? Oh, we can. And look, so many wonderful people.
Absolutely.
Good morning, Lucy. Good morning, Niels. LF's here.
LFT is online.
Arnold's
Hi,
here. I've not seen Arnold today. We've got people from the UK. We've got people from the Netherlands, Busra in Turkey. We've got people from all over the world. Let us know where you're joining from.
Oh, I see a new name.
A new name?
Just after Soren. I don't
Fan
think
Kong Tai.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you. Lovely to have you here.
Kalpesh. Hi,
Yes.
Kalpesh.
Amazing.
A few new names, definitely.
Yes. And Terence is teasing about some new stuff he's going to be doing in 2024, potentially some blog posts. And,
bring that on, Terence. Absolutely.
Very, very exciting. People saying it's doomy and gloomy in Manchester. I feel you. I've been to Manchester before. No, it's the same here. Don't worry. If you hear rain, it's because it's noisy on the roof here.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, I think we're very quickly coming up to our first session of the day, which is going to be with Nathan Wolf. As we said, Nathan is one of the masterminds behind some of the popular Umbraco packages we know and love, now working for Umbraco HQ.
Yes, a great story there.
Yeah. So he is responsible for Umbraco Workflow, or partly responsible for Umbraco Workflow, and has been helping to migrate that to Umbraco 14, preparing that for the new back office. And his whole thing is going to be sharing some of his experiences of doing that with us. Exposure to all the new, slightly different web technologies and approaches that you have to take in the back office. So that's web components and all of the new Umbraco extension APIs, which if anyone hasn't seen Niels Lungso's talk about how all of that works, there's a recording of it on YouTube. It's fantastic. Highly recommend you watch that as well. But it's a great intro and a great refresher. If we have him on the line, can we get Nathan on?